Good morning, my dear children. Here is your new chapter, that is chapter 16, Water, a Precious Resource. Okay, so here we are going to learn about the importance of water and how the usage. Children, don't you know that 22nd March is celebrated as the World Water Day? Okay, I think you are aware of it, is it? And that day we made posters on this water day. Don't you remember that? Okay, now water is life, is it? So we don't waste our life. Okay, so water is the essential thing which we cannot avoid in our life. In some places, there is an acute shortage of water, like taps running dry, then long queues for water, fights, marches, and protests for demand of water have become a common sight, is it? Okay, now, especially during summers. So, we have already read in the newspaper clippings and all. So, all these things we are going to discuss in this chapter. So, children, now tell me how much water is available on earth for us? Don't you know that? And why does it appear blue? Yes, you can guess that, no? Yes, you are aware that about 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water, and almost all the water on the earth is contained in the seas and oceans, rivers, lakes, ice caps as groundwater, and in the atmosphere. Okay, so however, most of this water is not fit for human consumption. So, the water that is fit for use is fresh water. Got it? That is 99% of all water is not available for our uses and only 1% that is for use. Children, you know that water on the earth has been maintained for millions of years by various processes which make that water cycle. Don't you remember that? Okay, I will discuss that water cycle later. Now, you know that when water circulates through the water cycle, it can be found in all the three forms. Which are the three forms? Yes, solid, liquid, and gas or gaseous. Okay, so the solid forms snow and ice and is present as ice caps at the poles of the earth, snow covered mountains, and glaciers. Then, how the liquid water is present in oceans, lakes, rivers, and even underground. And the gaseous form is the water vapor present in the air around us. So, the continuous cycling of water among its three forms keeps the total amount of water on the earth constant even when the whole world is using it. Okay, so you got it, how that usage. So here you can see the water cycle. Have you seen that? As the water percolated and water from the ground that evaporates as because of the sun's rays, and water from the plants also moves up that because of the transpiration, then it forms the clouds, and when it condenses it forms by precipitation, then water falls down. Okay, so this process continues, and that is what the water cycle. And don't you know, children, a large number of people draw water from wells, tube wells, or hand pumps. So from where do these sources get water? Suppose if we dig deeper and deeper the soil, we would reach a level where all the space between particles of soil and gaps between rocks are filled with water. So the upper limit of this layer is called as water table, and the water table varies from place to place. Okay. Now children, what is the source of this groundwater? We have to know that the rainwater and water from other sources like rivers and ponds seeps through the soil and fills the empty spaces and cracks deep below the ground. So the process of seeping of water into the ground is called infiltration. What is it? Infiltration. Then the groundwater thus gets recharged by this process. So at places the groundwater is stored between the layers of hard rock below the water table. So this is known as the aquifer. What is it? Aquifer. Now water in the aquifers can be usually pumped out with the help of tube wells or hand pumps. Okay, maybe you have seen that. Okay. Okay, let me ask you a question. Can we keep on drawing water from the underground? Maybe for the construction work or for any other purpose? How will it affect the water table? Yes, now we are going to know the depletion of water table. Here you have to know that because of this increasing population, then increasing industries, because of the agricultural activities, it may affect this water table. Okay, so increasing population that creates demand for construction of houses, shops, office, roads and pavements, and this decrease the open areas like parks and playgrounds. So this in turn decrease the seepage of rainwater into the ground. You got it? Then next one is increasing industries. So water is used by all the industries. Almost everything that we use needs water somewhere in its production process. So the number of industries is increasing continuously. So water used by most of the industries is drawn from this ground. Got it? And the next is the agricultural activities. As we have seen, a majority of farmers in India depend upon rains for irrigating their crops. Yes, no? So, irrigation systems like canals are there only in a few places. So, even these systems may suffer from lack of water due to erratic rainfall. So, what the farmers have to do? Farmers have to use this groundwater for irrigation, and the population pressure on agriculture forces increasing use of groundwater day by day. So this results in depletion of water table. You got it, my dear children? So this is how the agricultural activities affect the depletion of water table. Okay, now let's learn that how the distribution of water. So the distribution of water over the globe is quite uneven due to a number of factors. Some places have good amount of rain and are water rich. On the other hand, there are deserts which have scanty rainfall. Oh, you know that, no? Desert where the rainfall is very less. Now India is a vast country and the rainfall is not the same everywhere. So some regions have excessive rains while some others have very little rainfall. So excessive rains cause floods, whereas the absence of rains result in droughts. Therefore, some regions in our country may have floods while others may suffer from droughts at the same time. Children, you got it? Now let's learn how to manage this water. Okay, so let's learn about water management. We have seen that most of the water that we get as rainfall just flows away. So this is a waste of precious natural resource. So the rainwater can be used to recharge the groundwater. So this is referred to as water harvesting. You can see from the picture, or rainwater harvesting. Now see this picture, my dear children. We have at many places in India like an age-old practice of water storage and water recharge, like this system, that is the Boris. What is it? Boris. So Boris was the traditional way of collecting water. Okay. So just to understand that, this is the Boris system. Now we have to know the drip irrigation. So drip irrigation means it's a technique of watering plants by making use of narrow tubings which deliver water directly at the base of the plant. Okay, by not even wasting a single drop, it is directly into the base of the plant. That is what the drip irrigation. So this is about the effect of water scarcity on plants. You must have seen that potted plants wilting and ultimately drying up. If they did not get water even for a few days, what happens to that plants? That plants need water to get nutrients from the soil to prepare their food. So if they are not getting, definitely that plant will be spoiled. So just imagine the consequences if water is not available to plants. So the green character of the planet shall be lost, and this may mean the end of all life. For a world without plants shall mean no food, no oxygen, not enough rain, and innumerable other problems too. Children, you got it? Now finally, after learning this chapter, what role you can play for this? Don't you think of that? Yes, my dear children, there are a number of ways you can adopt to minimize the wastage of water. So let us begin. We have given a few examples here. That is, turn off taps while brushing, then mop the floor instead of washing. Then don't let water to sprinkle all over the plants just to get at the base of the plants. All these you can implement in your home to don't let the water to be wasted. You got it, my dear children? So this is about the chapter water, a precious resource.